India's deepening engagement with the United Nations is based on its steadfast commitment to multilateralism and dialogue as the key for achieving shared goals and addressing common challenges faced by the global community, including those related to peacekeeping, sustainable development, poverty eradication, environment, climate change, terrorism, disarmament, human rights, health and pandemics, migration, cybersecurity, space and frontier technologies like artificial intelligence, comprehensive reform of the United Nations, including the reform of the Security Council. While addressing at the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly on 25th September last year, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke about India's significant role in various international issues. He also spoke about the richness of the Indian democracy, the great strides in development in all the sectors of the economy, science and technology, peacekeeping, terrorism, the crisis in Afghanistan, climate change and the COVID crisis.
सेवा परमो धर्म को जीने वाला भारत सीमित संसाधनों के बावजूद भी वैक्सीनेशन डेवलपमेंट और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में जी जान से जुटा है। मैं यूएनजीए को ये जानकारी देना चाहता हूं कि भारत ने दुनिया की पहली डीएनए वैक्सीन विकसित कर ली है, जिसे 12 साल की आयु से ज्यादा के सभी लोगों को लगाया जा सकता है। एक और एमआरएनए वैक्सीन अपने डेवलपमेंट के आखिरी चरण में है। भारत के वैज्ञानिक कोरोना की एक नेजल वैक्सीन के निर्माण में भी जुटे हैं। मानवता के प्रति अपने दायित्व को समझते हुए भारत ने एक बार फिर दुनिया के जरूरतमंदों को वैक्सीन देनी शुरू कर दी है।
While delivering the statement at the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly, the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said, New India, under the visionary and dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is a confident and resurgent society. Its agenda for our centenary will be achieved through the 5 pledges that we committed to on our Independence Day.
These 5 pledges affirm our age-old outlook that sees the world as one family. We believe that national good and global good can be entirely in harmony. It is this conviction that led us to supply vaccines to over 100 nations. Similarly, our evacuation operations in HADR situations always had room for other nationals in distress. Even as we meet our own development targets, India offers partnerships to our brothers and sisters in Asia, in Africa and Latin America. And we do so based on their needs and their priorities. Today, the focus is on green growth, better connectivity, digital delivery and accessible health. Our solidarity is not just in words. You can see them in 700 projects across the world.
India will be completing its tenure as a member of the Security Council this year and has acted as a bridge on some serious but divisive issues confronting the Council. India has focused on concerns such as maritime security, peacekeeping and counter-terrorism. India's contributions range from providing technology with a human touch to ensuring safety and security of UN peacekeepers. India is prepared to take up greater responsibilities at the UN, but it seeks at the same time to ensure that the injustice faced by the Global South is decisively addressed. As the Ukraine conflict continues to rage, India is on the side of peace and respects the UN Charter and its founding principles. India is working for the collective interest both within the UN and outside in finding an early resolution to the conflict. The Indo-Pacific too witnesses fresh concerns about its stability and its security. The COVID pandemic called into question the over-centralized nature of globalization and has led India to seek greater resilience and reliability of supply chains. Today, India exercises more power around the globe than ever before. India is a hub of pharmaceutical manufacturing for long. India was one of the handful of countries that could invest its own vaccine to face the challenge of COVID-19 pandemic and not only protect its own people, but also export the vaccines at affordable prices to about 100 countries. This has won global appreciation for successfully addressing the global health crisis. India's role in disaster management and in airlifting people in distress from conflict zones also has enhanced India's soft power. India has assisted nationals of other countries as well to evacuate from places such as the crisis-hit Yemen, from where nationals of 41 countries were evacuated. India remains deeply committed to fighting climate change under the UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and the Paris Agreement. India has worked with partners on the International Solar Alliance, the One Sun, One World, One Grid initiative, and the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure in her pursuit for climate action and climate justice. India stands ready to support any collective and equitable endeavour to protect the environment and to further global wellness. Lifestyle for Environment, or LIFE, as declared by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Glasgow on the sidelines of COP26, is her homage to Mother Nature. The India-UN Development Partnership Fund was established by Government of India in June 2017 to work with fellow developing countries in a spirit of South-South cooperation by providing support to projects that aim to contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) as per their request. A total of $100 million over the next decade has been committed by the Government of India for the India-UN Development Partnership Fund. It adheres to the principles of South-South cooperation and places a priority on national ownership and leadership, equality, sustainability, development of local capacity and mutual benefit. The fund supports projects that are in alignment with the 2030 agenda. Yoga system today has become an acceptable method of staying physically and mentally healthy for people from various ethnicities, race and religion. Yoga advocates healthy living. The UNGA resolution declared 21st June every year as the International Day of Yoga and was adopted in December 2014. India enjoys strong goodwill and support at the UN and has been elected to several UN bodies. In the last few years, India was elected to the Human Rights Council (HRC), Economic and Social Council (ECOSOC), International Narcotics Control Board (INCB), International Court of Justice (ICJ), UN Board of Auditors, Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights (CESCR), International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea (ITLOS), International Law Commission (ILC), and Joint Inspection Unit (JIU), among others. Currently, India is represented in 22 UN bodies. India was known as an emerging power for decades. The success of India's role in world affairs has now led to India's ascent as an influential global power. Many in India and abroad were not sure earlier as to when India would be a global power. But today, friends and foes of India in the international community do not doubt India's influence in global affairs, including the United Nations.